Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my madness. No, I think seriously, we've done some seriously good stuff since you guys have been gone, and I want to just say, hey, welcome back. Look at the new barn, look at the new digs. I'm going to explain all of it in today's episode, and I'm going to show you a day in my life a little bit. I think what a lot of people don't see about this game is kind of the stuff that works on in the background to be able to make a successful place run peacefully and just kind of work for you. So let's talk about some of the new things. Over here we have 2 garbage workers and 2, what do you call these guys? Handlers? Yeah, okay, 2 handlers. I just call them like the department guys. They move stuff. But yeah, so the cleaners, you need 2 because they can each do 3 garbage cans. So I wanted to put a garbage can on this side and 3 garbage cans on this side, and I created 3 chemistry setups so that each chemist has their own workspace, and then each one of these guys is focused on moving product from their chemistry station to the lab oven to the mixing station and back to the raw product section. So the way that this is set up is super nice and neat. This garbage guy is in charge of these 3 bins. This garbage guy is in charge of these 3 bins. And then if we go upstairs, you can see I have the beds laid out in a way that makes sense. So I have 1 chemistry station person. This person is literally the person over there, right? And this guy right here is that guy. And this one is this one. So if we want to make sure we're making a station work, I would pay this person's, it's like an overview, it's like a map, right? So like if I'm like, oh, I want this person to work today, put money in this chest. If I want this person to work today, put money in this chest. So it's very modular, right? Like I could have these chemists working and I don't need a packager for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna make all their product and put it on this shelf. And then the packager comes in and just boop, like that. And he's chilling for most of the rest of the day. So yes, let me tell you, this was expensive. I think I spent somewhere in the wheelhouse at like 26K over the original setup that we had. And funny part is I filmed an entire episode that I'm not going to show you guys. And it was the transition. It was the moving back and forth, switching this setup with the one that I had at the bungalow. And it's just, in my mind, it's not fun to watch. It's work. And I don't know if you guys like the process, but I think the real fun part about this game is looking at the builds at the end and how they're set up and what works. Another note that I need to make about this packaging station is you can see this is being pulled in for here, the jars, so you're able to package the jars. And if I wanted to, I could switch up and immediately go straight into bricks. It's not a big deal, it's just how I want it, right? Because I like one and I like the other, I really do, but I'm not exactly sure which one I want to run, so I'm testing them both and I'm going to run them in tandem, and you're going to see. You can see his setup: medium storage, mixing station, medium storage, mixing station, medium storage, mixing station, large station, packaging, large packaging. And that is literally this. Go from here to here, from here to here. He just makes sure all these have the Viagra in them. And then he makes sure that all the product that is then brought in gets packaged. That's it. That's all he's doing. Perfect. It works well. And then, fun new update, I bought 2 vans. So now I have a cleaning van, which is the blue van. I painted it. Kind of fun. And if you open it, there's a whole bunch of trash grabbers. And the reason for this is because I can literally whip up to one of my facilities with this bucket and scrape all the baggies. It made way more sense when I had the weed set up. I thought about doing it because when I gutted this place out, there was like 80 pounds of garbage in here. Damn. It's really important you keep a clean workstation. So yeah, that's what bred this van. Now, the other thing is the green van, which I call my mystery machine. The mystery machine is totally a reference to Scooby-Doo. It is my green van that I fill with green product, baby. Sweet, sweet product. And it's funny because not all of it's green, unfortunately. Now you can see most of what I do is a different material. But I'm just doing it because it's the best way to balance the contracts right now. I'll show you all of that. But yeah, let's get down here. I don't deal anymore. I just let the dealers do their job, and I swing by at the end of the night and pick them all up. But you can see right here, I have this green van. This is my mystery machine. I'm gonna park it a little bit better. Looks like a goon parked here. Hang on. Now they dock you points if you go forward when you're parallel parking. I can parallel park in real life. I can't parallel park in this game quite yet. But that's pretty damn close. If you ask me, that seems pretty good. That's a decent park job. Maybe go a little bit more forward. There we go. Okay, yeah. In the back, I just have loose product. It looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory if you look inside there. And it was so much fun. I was playing with my cousin, and I thought to myself, holy shit, you know what I gotta do? I gotta set up a system so that he can go out, wheel and deal for me while I focus on the manufacturing operation. And that's what I did. I said, Garrett, I bought a van, I painted it green, I put all the extra crap I don't need in it. Can you sell it? And he sure did, man. He's selling trucks and trucks worth of stuff, and I've got so much previous packaging from my old setup that all this is extra. It just needs to go. So he was helping out with that big time. To show you what I do for the dealers here, I'm going to swing over to somebody who's at home. And that's probably going to be Molly. Well, let's take a look at the map, actually. You can see Molly's down there by the docks. So let's go ahead and say hi to Molly. You'll see how I've got her set up. Actually, I think she might not have the same setup as everybody else. No, she doesn't. So let's take a look at Brad. Because Brad, I loaded up the same way I loaded up with Jan. And it's just because I'm trying to sell all the extra crap that I made, but it's so good because now all that extra product that I have for them is like passive revenue. I mean, I accidentally made way too much shit. So now they just kind of do their thing. I get paid all the time. And if you look, I need to trade you items. He's got 19 bricks of OG Kush. That's almost 400 units of OG. And sour. And green, and granddaddy, and island haze meth. Now this is the poor stuff, right? Because this is, I optimized my system. Now I make really high-end stuff. And the point is, this is like season 2, if you will. Like, I originally started making all kinds of ingredients and got my feet on the ground, made the product. That was season 1. Season 2, we are now mass manufacturing, and then in this case, season 3 is coming up. I have high-grade island, and I have really potent weed coming up. And I'll show you what that means. That's in the bungalow. That's the new setup. I didn't stream. I did stream this, but I'm not showing you guys how I built it, just because of the fact that it might take way too damn long, and it's not worth it, and you'll get bored. So let me just show you the results, because it turned out really good. So I have 5 people in here now. I kicked out a couple, and I changed it up. You're going to see this setup is totally different than what we had in here. I even set up little lights so it's bright in here. You can actually see what the hell you're doing. So, I have 2 packagers, 1 chemist, and 2 botanists. And the way this works is there are 8 pots for each botanist on either side, because both of these guys can make 8 at one go. There was no reason for me to be having 5 on pots and 3 on drying racks. It just doesn't work. So 8 is so much more efficient. And then what I have them doing is grabbing products from this far back shelf. And then I have a guy who uses this second shelf to restock this far back shelf. And then I have that same guy using this shelf to restock that shelf. So when I come into this house, if I need to restock anything, all I do is boom, peek over here, look at that, it's got stuff on it, I'm gone. I don't need to worry about it, right? This is like a sequence of accumulation tables, so that way they're maintaining full product. I have nothing to worry about. And you can see all that stuff is growing. They're going to harvest it, and bam, where do they take it? They take it right over here onto the back racks. So these 8 pots over here on this side feed the left, so left is left. And then these pots on the right, these 8, feed the one on the right. Now, the way this goes from here is I have a guy in blue come over, and he picks up what's on both of these racks, and he puts them into this guy. And this is mixing green crack with magic beans. Mixing green crack with magic beans makes you pink puke. Pink puke is $67 as opposed to the green crack's $50. and it has 25% addictiveness. Then that pink puke goes into this mixer. So you can see if I pull out the bulletin board, whoop, the arrows go right here, goes to this one, and it mixes it with horse semen. So if you mix pink puke with horse semen, you get purple gold. Okay, so what's purple gold? Well, purple gold is 85 unit, and it's 85% addictiveness. We're getting somewhere, right? Now we mix that with Viagra. And what happens when you mix that with Viagra? Well, sure as hell, folks, you get Island Diamond, which is the same price as the meth. It's got Tropic Thunder, $101, and it's 100% addictiveness. So I have those get smashed into bricks, and you can see I've already got a full rack of bricks ready to rock and roll. This is going to be the new product on the streets. And this is exciting because talk about addiction. Addiction changes the way that this works in the contract list. So everybody is happy, right? You can see everybody's loaded. But the ones like these guys that are all red are 100% addicted, which means they're more likely to buy stuff, more frequent, and they are more likely to buy what you give them regardless of what it is. And that means you can start throwing more expensive stuff on them, right? The more expensive you make it, the more you get out of it. So I've done this for Westville. You can see it's totally set up. Everything looks good. Same thing over here. Now there's a couple contracts like these two right here that aren't getting happy. Everybody else is happy, but these ones are not. You can deal to them personally and sell them something that they like. You can see their favorite effects and bring it up a little bit more. But again, I am trying to make sure that everybody is max happiness, so we'll play around with types. I think this new one coming up is going to be really good. And then docs, everybody maxed out, everybody addicted, everybody's an addict. And then you can see the supplier I haven't touched on because I haven't started growing any cocoa yet. So that's going to be the next step, right? I wanted to get these guys online and operational in the way that I think they'll function very well. And then I want to use the money that I start making, which you can see is doing quite well. I have $77,000 in the bank account right now. And I just walk up, talk, boom. Look at that. Now I have that product. Then, if we go over here, you can see I have a little gas station that is super close to this, which is fantastic, because I'm going to show you the routes I have to run. But for right now, what I'm going to do is show you a day in the life of a dealer. So we need to go hit all of our contacts, Brad, Benji, Molly, all of them, and we're actually going to do it at 4 a.m., so we still got a lot of time in the night. Let's grab a little bit of the ingredients that we need to maintain the weed operation. We're going to need magic beans, horse semen, and some Viagra. And this is just getting a jump start on the day because it is so early. And I do want to take you around and show you everything that I do each night to keep these things up and running. It's a hassle, you know, it's a lot of work, but it makes a lot of product, and I can use it. Okay, so you can see we're almost out of magic beans. We're almost out of horse. Look at that. In one day, it practically runs out. I mean, they're using everything to stock the shelves, so that is super cool. We just got to make sure that we keep them up to date. So you can see I need 7 stacks of magic beans. And when I started this video, I started it right at the beginning of the day. So you're going to see this is what 1 full day's worth of work looks like. Of course, we can pause and freeze and stop paying people to stop making product if we have too much of it, which is very possible. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take the dealers to get through what I gave them from our previous season's worth of growing, but if it takes a while, it's a good thing, because then that means we don't need to run these super often. We just need to crank out products quick for a short duration. And I like that approach because that means our upkeep is reduced. Because I think even though I make, you know, quite a bit of money per day, I'm still making product. And at the end of the day, I'm spending almost everything I make to be able to keep the business alive. Which is tight marginally, but I did have some days where I kind of sat back and racked in some cash. That's how we have 75,000. It happens very quick. And I think it's because we were on top of our game and we've just constantly been putting it back into the business. You can see we need to restock all these shelves with a whole bunch of ingredients. Magic beans, horse semen, Viagra, green crack pills, fertilizers, pretty much all of it, right? And it is something that you can let go for a night, but it's just a night. If the buildings were bigger, I could get ahead further. And I think I only needed... Yeah, I think I needed 6 of those as well. You can see our store buys are pretty wild. Like, if anybody was working at a gas station, they'd be like, what the hell? This dude just came in, bought 100... Every single day he's buying 120 pills of Viagra? What is going on? You know, I'd be asking questions too. You can see that's good right there. Now we need 40 of each. And it's nice that we're doing this now because it's going to make our chores a little bit easier at the end of the night. Cops are going to be on us. It always happens. Eventually what you can do is kind of like run them into an area where they're not going to bother you. Oh, thank you. They suck at their job so bad. I also like riding around though on the board. You know, I think the board is where it's at. It's super chill. You're gonna see when I run these routes tonight that just coasting the streets it's a total vibe. And if you play the right music, you can get in the zone a little bit. I also noticed that the audio is coming out of my computer and not my headset, so hang on a second. Okay, I really hope that doesn't mess up the audio quality, but we'll see if that makes it better now. See him running. I love it, man. It's too good. Like 40 magic beans. Eventually you can kind of like coax them into a spot where it's easy to deal with. Like you'll never see them again, you know? But they look like they parked themselves right in front of our barn. Ooh, maybe they went that way. I don't know. Time will tell. Oh, shit. It's so silly. It's almost 4 a.m., so I think we're about ready to run routes here. I'm going to let the dealers finish out their night, so they're going to make their money, and we'll be good to go. I love riding the board. Actually, I'm going to go this way, because I don't want them to bother me. See if Benji's back from his run. He's not. That's okay. Check out and see if any cops are down here. Doesn't appear to be so this is gonna be our streamline route. Look at how many of the beans they've flown through. Holy smokes, I just restocked this and we already need 2 more stacks again. Crazy. Working like fiends making product. Gotta respect it. Hello, sir. We need 20... No, we need 40 of each. 40 of them, 40 of these. 40 of these. And you can see the upkeep costs are not cheap. No doubt in my mind. But the amount of product that we will have by the end is totally worth it. Sorry, sir. Jeez. Trying to help out. They're starting to slow down. That's really good. We got those all restocked. Let's take a look at our fertilizers. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need 14 green crack. Oh, 14. I mean, it's 2 a.m., so 14 will be enough for us to sustain ourselves. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Albert, and I'm going to say we need to meet up. He's going to be like, all right, we're going to meet up here. It's next to the mayor's house, so that's going to be chilling over here. Tough. There's certain spots like the gravel that actually slow you down. But what I do like about the board is that you can really just kind of coast everywhere you want to go. Oop. We're going to take this way to the mayor's house because I think it's a little bit faster. Hello there, Albert. Alright, yep, 14 of these. And the reason for green is because it sells for the most. It grows in the same rate and volume as the other one, so why not use it? Because it is the precursor to the one that we're making, Tropical Thunder, with all its crazy powers. See that? We get slowed down. Probably still faster, I guess. Stay on it, if you have the momentum for it. Alright, so we're going to load them up on seeds here, and you can see they already spent just a little bit more, but that's okay. We could do 40, 20, and 20. He's going to mix it up. It's good enough for right now. That's the restock that I have for that. Then we're going to go over to Molly, and we're going to hit every dealer and just say, hey, how did your day go? Take a look at their inventory. You can see she's really selling quite a bit of it. It's super nice. Who else do we have from a dealer? Benji and Brad. I think I checked Brad. No, I didn't. Or Benji. Holy smokes. And if I did, they already got $3 grand back. That's pretty solid. Oh yeah, and between then and now I bought an M1911. I love the gun, but I just am not sure if we're getting to that point in the game yet where somebody might do something crazy. So just want to keep that on us in case something happens campaign-wise. There we go, and then the last dealer we need to check is going to be Jane. And I'm worried that as they smoke what's currently in their hands, that they're going to lose addictiveness. You know, I think that's how that works. I'm not sure if it's something that goes down, but I think I've seen some of the values get lower. So it might hurt us to sell all of this, but at the same time, I think, you know, we're going to be okay. We can regrow it, and especially with the new stuff we have coming up, like, look at, she's got a ton of stuff. We're going to be totally fine. So that is clearing out all the dealers. They have gotten all their money for us for the day, so we run around and collect it. And you can see we have 20 grand in the bank account now. Super awesome. Not sure if we're going to be skating directly into the cops, but they certainly ran somewhere, and I don't know where that is. So now that we've hit all the dealers, it's time for us to attend our businesses. Ooh, and there's no better way to do that than the skateboard. Alright. So, we need 40, another 4, 20, and 40. So 40, 20, 40. And then I'm going to put money in all of their briefcases just to make sure that they keep running. I had a really good time actually playing this game with my cousin. You guys would get a kick out of it too, and I think we're going to do some streaming where he's a part of it, because having multiple people play in your game is fun. And if you're a little bit further ahead, everybody's got a role, you know? Like, the business needs help, it needs hands, and extra hands are awesome all the time. So Garrett was kicking butt, and he was playing dealer, and that's why that green truck idea came from. And he would go through, and anything he made, because he can only deposit so much per day, we threw into these briefcases, so that way it all balanced out. So now they're all paid. They've got all the ingredients that they need to run. This is pretty much done. I could come back through here with my cleaner truck and clean up all of this, which I think I might do later. But now I'm going to go ahead and check on the barn. Normally I do park the cleaner van over by the bungalow just because the barn itself is self-sufficient. It has cleaners, so I don't need to worry about cleaning it. You can just walk behind the cops. And then I like to launder any money that I made in addition so I can just park it into the bank account because there is going to be a lot. I can tell you right now that I'm going to just need to grab some Viagra because they've been running all day. Let's grab like 120. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And then we just cruise our way on back. That green truck in the middle is awesome because it's like a restock. It's almost like a dispensary. I wish you could. I haven't seen it yet, and maybe you can. Just have a dispensary out of your house where everybody shows up. Like you have a storefront. Rather than having to deal it. That'd be super cool. Okay, that's looking good. So we need 3 more stacks of Viagra and 36 jars. 60, 36. Not bad, not bad. It's not much. Meth is definitely slower than weed, which is nice. That's why I made it the bigger aspect of my business. In the last episode, like I said, I switched everything. I used to be growing weed out of the barn, and I used to be growing meth out of the bungalow. And once you save up enough cash, make the investment. It is a very expensive investment. There is no doubt about it. But it is totally worth it. Because once you drop down, like I think my net worth was over 204. I think I thought 228K or something like that. And then after I did all of this upgrades where I bought like 30 grand in lab equipment and I started selling like the 1600 product I have. How many do I have? Look at that. 400, 400, 400, 400. Everybody's loaded 400s in a 100 island maze. Couple stacks of what was 400. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of product. And ever since I loaded everybody up and I spent 30 grand on all this lab equipment, it said my net worth went down. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if you add up all the product that's out there, there must be a way that they're doing the calculation because it isn't right. It definitely isn't right. But that's okay. I was just confused because I was like, did I lose money? Did I throw money away somewhere? And I don't think I did. So we're going to insert everything. You just shift left click the money and we're going to get all these briefcases stacked for the next day. There we go. One more. All right, cool. So now, boom, everybody's doing their thing. Everybody's restocked. Everybody's paid for tomorrow. The only thing we need to do now is check the ingredients. And you can see liquid meth. We have 10 out of 10. I just recently restocked this. Otherwise, I would go and I'd head out and I would go and pick up more ingredients. Like I'll add up. We need 4 pseudo, 4 phosphorus. We could probably do that actually. They've got a lot of output and they're not cooking for some reason. I think it's just they got cut off in the middle of their situation. Because there's 2 here, right? And they could definitely start cooking it, but they're all like frozen standing there. It's one thing I've realized. I'm just going to save the game and then go to sleep. Because in the morning I think they all reset their positions and we're good to go. And then we could do something fun, you know, now that we got all the content covered, so to say. 13, 14 grand almost. We are now shot caller level 4. I haven't unlocked anything in decades, so I don't know. I know it says I need to unlock the new region. I gotta be higher level, but man, does that take a while. So they're not doing their thing, which is a bummer, right? So game is saved. I'm gonna quit, and then I'm gonna come back in because they're glitched. They're frozen. It happens quite a bit, actually. Super unfortunate. There you go, 195 now. Highland Point was first established in 1903 thanks to the efforts of P.P. Highland. Isn't that amazing? And then there's a cop chase on a Mustang. It's hilarious. Okay, so now look at, see what they're doing? They're taking their thing. They're all cooking. Very nice. And it's like they're in sync now. They're all... But there's 2 pockets of stuff to be cooked. I don't know. I mean, I know that the cooking is 5 hours and this is 8 hours, so it doesn't make sense that there's 2 there. But they're all wishy-washy. Let's take the cleaning van over to the other house. It's going to run itself and it's going to make a ton of product. And the product that we are making, if I go here so you can see, we're not making pink puke and we're not making purple island. We're making this right here, Island Diamond, and this one, Island Haze. These are the 2 products that I'm currently mass producing. There's the stats on them. 101, Thin Face, Tropic Thunder, Long Face, all kinds of stuff. And then right here, Tropic Thunder. Both are 100, 102, and 100% addictiveness. Potent, to say the least. Gotta be careful not to hit any cops. Otherwise, we're going to have a bad time. And I did want to sell because I had 2 brick makers and a couple of medium tables that I'm not using. So there's that. We're going to back that in right there. And let's see here. I stashed them here because I was like, I got extra crap. And I know you can sell it. I have sold a couple of things. But these brick presses, you know, I have a brick press already in both sites. You don't really need this many. It was just something I bought. Here we go. Let's see. He wants 680. Hell no. How about 1400? Ugh. We'll just accept it. I don't care. If he gets upset, he like screams and runs at you and you can't do anything else for the day, and I just want to get rid of it. Just get rid of it. There's a couple people that we aren't selling to on our contacts list. Oh, that's another thing, if you guys didn't see that or not. If you check out my dealer setup, this is who Benji is dealing to. Brad, you can just pause the video if you need to see it. Jane, and Molly. Those are the setups I have for the customers. It works pretty well. And these guys are rocking and rolling. Man, that is 800, almost 1,000. 1,000 buds from this house in the 3 days we've been running. Probably not 3 days, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I've definitely not been doing this a long time. A recent setup as of today. But it works. Certainly works. Let's grab 40. We only needed 20 Viagra, and then I think we needed 40 of the rest. And it's kind of like this. We're just doing the cyclical stuff because I want to eventually do some of the more fun things. And in order to get to those fun things, we're going to need to put in that grind, you know? I mean, it's a business. Trying to get it up and running. And it's only going to pay off in the long run later. So what are some things we can do with 70 grand? Well, there's a few. I like to keep laundering the money. Because the ATM sure as hell is not fast enough. But I also like to have a little bit of cash on me. I like the split that we have here. If I'm going to be able to deposit 10 grand, I'm going to do it. And yeah, so we have the 2 vans. We got a bunch of little product. I guess we could run a couple of deals if you guys wanted to have some fun here. So we could also buy the warehouse, which I am planning on doing. That's going to be something I have a little bit more money for. We'll make that happen here. I'm gonna grab these 3. Let's go around. Damn, can I offer you something? So he's fully addicted, so I'm gonna give him one of those and one. Well, that's probably good. Nope, he didn't want the deal. Bummer. I have undercut so that I can get, you know, the prices to where these guys are like, oh yeah, I definitely want it. At the same time, though, they buy it more often than not, and you might as well just play at the higher ball point. Oh, we already have a skateboard. We don't need to buy a skateboard. The last thing unlocked was like some kind of crock pot, which can be used for coke. And I haven't pushed into that realm yet, but we're getting pretty close. I think with the setup we have and the amount of money that we can launder, we're doing pretty good. Like, everything's balanced and it's a full day's worth of work. It wouldn't be too much more to get set up. It would just be longer nights. But getting that warehouse set up, I kind of want to move into that space now that we have both the vans, the laundering setups. So we can potentially look at some additional properties here. 4 grand. I know the properties change in value. For the housing, they like go up by double each time, so I think it's probably going to be like 20 grand. Yeah, you can see there's a car wash for 20 and taco ticklers for 50, and I just feel like we're not making enough to where I need to get a car wash to launder money. Like, I bet you, you know, I think we paid 4,000 for the laundry machine, and it's 2,000 that you can launder, and then it was 10,000 for the post offer for 4,000. This one's 20 grand. I bet you could do like maybe 8 or 10k, which is great, but we don't have a surplus. You can see, like, after we just did that, we have about 1,200 bucks. Now, if I didn't restock everything, we'd be rolling in it, but there's no reason to do that. So we could spend the 50 grand on the dock warehouse and potentially use some of the money that we have over the course of the next couple of days to fill it out. So that way we at least have the property to our name. It'd be kind of fun. So let's purchase a property. The dock warehouse. Yes, sir. All right. The money has been transferred in. We're down. We're light on funds now. 50 grand is no small investment, but if I'm not mistaken, it's down here. Oh, actually, we could probably sell. Oh, man. What about you? Wow. 80% no-go. I don't like undercutting the price too hard. I really don't. So there's some cops right there. That's going to be tricky about this property, is that the cops are like always there, even at nighttime. Trespassers will be destroyed. Oh my gosh, look at all this trash. Holy crap. Okay. Wow. Alright, so we got this outdoor area. Is this a garage? Yo, it's automated too. That's sick. Just roll in. I wonder if we can roll in and then the cops actually can't come in. You know, that'd be something else. We have what looks like a little upper balcony area. This is a decent space. We could play into this. We could definitely use it. This is interesting. Maybe like a couch and a TV and set up like a gaming thing so my buddies could all play. Get some lights going on in here because this is dark as hell. But that could be fun. And then again, another awesome packaging space right here. This is definitely a usable space. And then down here, this is about as big as the barn, maybe a little bit bigger. I would say this is just another barn. Interesting way that they got this set up here, but I'm getting some ideas here. Is there lighting? My god, there is hardly any lighting in here. Ooh, that's the save game. Those lights, what about these lights? There we go. Keep all those on, man. Gotta see what the heck I'm doing in here. That needs to go on too. We're gonna beef that up. We're gonna make that all brighter. And then let's take a look around here. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Got a door here, a door on the other side. lot of garbage, so I definitely want to come by and clean all that up. But that's pretty cool. And I think with that, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you guys so much for joining me on a day in the life. And we're going to make this whole thing look sweet. I'm going to pursue Coco. I'm going to figure out what a good setup looks like for a warehouse. I'm going to save up some money and buy all the hardware to do it. And I'll show you guys all the progress at the end. See you in the next one. Peace.